Kasi dito sa Pinas, di ba, pag may BL series or show, actually any show na may love team, para madalas i-ship yung dalawang bida, on and off cam. And actually si Mikoy very much taken na, so congratulations. But regardless of that, I mean both actors naman, nasilip ko na yung first episode, convincing actors, but beyond that, kasi may mga illusion or fantasy na ginagawa yung mga audience na pinag-ship yung dalawang actors. And this time, hindi siya magagawa. So I'd like to ask, hindi ko lang sino pwede sumagot. Are you conscious when doing this? May extra effort ba? Or is it a challenge? Or may iba pa kayong ginawa? Or I don't know, or how you, what you want to share?
Siyempre kaming gumawa ng casting. Yeah. And that was actually one of the things that we took into consideration. Ang pinaka malaking bagay kasi sa amin is casting good actors. So for us, the story behind the series doesn't really matter because what we need, what we need are actors who can put into life the characters that we have. My Eyes on You. So hindi naman actually the TikTok series naman, hindi naman siya normal showbiz route na love team, hindi naman siya parang network gig or whatever. We want an entertainment that's believable. We also want characters and actors that are committed to the characters. So yun yung yung consideration namin. So both straight men and they are committed, and pag panonoorin mo sila, talagang magugulat ka na, parang, wow, like, si Mikoy nga, parang, may mga nag-message sa akin, si Mikoy, sabi sa akin, wala pa talagang chance. Yung pwede bang tutuhanin na lang? Kasi, masyadong convincing. Di ba yung parang ganon? Si Esteban also, I think, hindi rin naman siya nagtatago with, I think, his relationship. So, yung, alam mo yung gano'n, yung parang hindi namin siya kinonsider. Gusto namin magagaling na artista, and we had them with Esteban and Mikoy.
It's also not din direct, parang dun sa casting din, parang we wanted to be honest dun sa story more than anything else. Hence kaya parang na-cast din talaga sila Teban at saka sila Mikoy. Kasi they're really fitting for the role. And then nung nagawa na namin siya, the series itself, parang nakita na, oh, magical siya. Na parang tutuwa talaga kami every time. Kapag nag-shoot kami nila, Direk Randy, o si Lloyd, every time, wow, convincing, ang galing, ang ganda. Perfect. Parang gano'n na lang din yung aming reaction towards our actors. Ayun.
Anything else, guys?
Actually, napaisip ako sa ano ko nung ginagawa namin.
In-question mo siya.
Parang ito rin, oo you know, love is love.
In all shapes and forms.
Yeah. And ikaw, may gusto mo sabihin. Parang, hindi naman kami yung nagkasa sa sarili namin, so we can answer that question. Yun. Next.
Next question, CJ.
Hello guys, good afternoon. Di ba ngayon parang nagbabago yung mga preference ng mga audience natin? And yun, nauuso yung mga vertical CV. So, can you share your thoughts about it? And gagawa pa rin ba kayo ng mga series na mga traditional? Yes, sir.
Well, again, fortunately, kami yung pioneer talaga sa buong mundo ng vertical series. We started it nung wala pang gumagawa ng vertical series. It was a crazy idea and I was so happy. Pure Gold is so open with ideas na innovative. I think walang ibang, habang yung mga tao, ano ginagawa nyo? Ba't ganyan? Ba't kayo gagawa ng series for TikTok? That just si Pure Gold to support such an idea. And now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the world. So, kami ang nagsimula nun. Kaya natatawa ko minsan when people claim na like last year when ilaro yung Knock. It was actually, we've been doing it and everybody knows that we've been doing it for a long time already. People's preferences change, formats change, aspect ratios change, depending on the times also. And syempre, di ba, it's always driven by the gadgets that we use. Kung dati television yan, naging Betamax, naging kung ano man yan, ngayon, it's really our mobile phones. And medyo matagal pa bago magbago yan. So, I have a feeling that vertical series are here to stay and mas maganda ng innovation ang gawin natin. With us, sa Pure Gold Channel, sinisigurado ko na mapapanood nyo ay totoong series. Hindi puro clickbaits at hindi puro plot twists. Wala masyadong thirst trap. Ilan lang yung thirst trap namin kay Stefan, di ba? Di ba yung parang we want real narratives. And doon kami proud. Kasi yung Got My Eyes on You, pag panoorin nyo, masarap siyang panoorin ng putol-putol. Pero kung gusto niyang panoorin ng tuloy-tuloy, buo yung kwento. Hindi puro plot twist lang.
Direct, may nadagdaga.
Ayun, vertical series. Yes, it's on the go. Because parang kasi when we were actually looking din sa vertical series, parang syempre, meron din yung mga emergence din ng mga Chinese drama na vertical, na full of plot twist, full of parang bigla na lang may anak pala siya ng may-ari ng kumpanya, ganyan-ganyan. Like super grand yung mga plot. Pero this time, dito sa series namin, pinag-uusapan natin yun nung shoot. Parang, ano ba to? Parang magiging grand, ano ba to, na parang full of plot twist, ganyan. But then, dito parang sa series na to, parang mas gusto namin maging honest talaga doon sa route, sa story nila Mikoy, ni Drew at ni Sean. More than the parang plot twist effect na parang, ba't gano'n? So we wanted really to be honest really to the story. Kasi, yun naman we wanted to reflect din yung kung ano yung mga story ng mga Filipino audience. And I think yun yung naging golden in making the story come to life. Yeah.
Naalala ko ay isa sa mga unang tanong namin kay Direk noon when we were doing the look test and sa first day ng shoot na parang, Direk, katulad ba ito ng mga nakikita natin na the billionaire's son is secretly the blah blah CEO, gano'n, na iba, gano'n acting yan ba gagawin natin? Kasi parang yung mga gano'n, kung nakikita natin, parang usually panghapon di ba? Na talagang it has to be like peak lahat ng ginagawa, lahat ng acting nila, peak lahat. But yun nga, they made a point na hindi, format lang yun, nang gagawin natin dito sa I Got My Eyes on You. Format lang yung sinunod in terms of vertical. Pero storytelling-wise, narrative, it's still very, mas streaming. It's really, ano pa rin siya, yun nga, sabi nila, Direct Chris and Direct Diesel na faithful pa rin sa narrative and sa storytelling na gusto ko.
Questions? Guys?
Hello po, congratulations sa Got My Eyes on You.
Thank you.
Yung first question ko kay Direk at saka kay Sir Chris, kasi paano yung naging treatment nyo dito? Kasi alam naman natin na yung mga viral videos na vertical is ang okay, pero hello, pinapanood ko pala. So, paano yung as director, as writer, paano yung naging adjustment nyo sa mangyayari sa kanya per episode? Kasi iba yung treatment niya compared to sa regular na mga series na napapanood natin.
Yeah. When it comes to writing, me with Sir Joni, parang when it was written, parang it was meant to be parang bitin. Na parang, kasi di ba, parang when you watch dun sa mga Chinese drama, parang yung plot twist yung inaabangan. Pero this one, ang parang we wanted na treatment is yung story yung abangan mismo. So every matatapos yung episode, parang bitin siya kasi we wanted the audience to feel na, meron pa bukas, papanoorin ko pa ito bukas, ganyan. Kaya when we were actually, nung pinapanood ko siya yung latag ng edit and all of that, parang sabi ko, kabitin, next episode. Tapos dun ako parang nagkakaroon ng satisfaction every time na papanood ko na yung mga next episodes. And then when it comes to the plot, to the per episode ng TikTok, ganun siya. Parang may pabitin effect siya really at the end of each episode. And then when it comes to shooting it, of course, syempre, we can really consider din yung vertical format, ganyan. And then, adjustment din siya when it comes to editing and all. Because I feel like, yung pag-shoot talaga din kasi ng vertical series, it's parang medyo new discipline siya, ibang atake talaga when it comes to shooting compared to, di ba, nakasanayan natin horizontal siya. So, adjustment siya when it comes to shooting, adjustment din siya when it comes to editing. And of course, adjustment din, syempre, sa writing din siya.
Actually, nasabi naman ni yung hindi namin talaga, parang hindi namin masyadong pinagtuunan yung parang plot twist na format ng mga verticals ngayon. B10 is actually the word talaga. No? Parang we want to make sure na people will watch it because parang may craving sila for the story to be finished. Hindi dahil sa gusto nilang magulat ng kung anumang plot twist. So, yun yung I think yun yung difference namin talaga. This is really following the more, kumbaga, reliable form of narrative, hindi yung experimentation at mas pa-effect talaga na verticals.
Thank you po. And for the actors, paano yung naging adjustments ninyo? And paano yung naging atake nyo dito since iba talaga yung well doon sa mga napapanood ko, iba yung syempre
sa akin, parang wala naman po masyadong naging consideration, to be honest. Kasi ako po at the end of the day, kasi sa acting, depende rin sa direction ng director. So, and naging malinaw naman yung direction ni Diesel na kung ano yung vision nila. So, wala naman parang naging specific kind of acting na require. Nag-require naman sila to be true. To be true doon sa storya, doon sa karakter namin. So, parang wala naman special consideration.
Kasi parang, oo nga, yung una yung concern namin kasi pag sinabi mo nga na vertical cinema, microdrama, it's very compressed, na parang walang time huminga. Like, walang babad yun kasi lahat may nangyayari every second. But with this one, we shot it as if felt like we were shooting a film. Tapos siguro naging vertical na lang siya, naging microdrama siya because of the edits and how they took care of it sa post-production. Tapos, tama ba? Hihina na mo, di ba? Adjustment sa microdrama nila. Okay. Ayun, pero challenge din siya kasi parang, ewan ko, pero ako hindi ko maalis sa isip ko when we were shooting this sa parang, saan kaya ito puputulin? Di ba? Parang, so ano kaya dapat bibigay ko dito? Kasi hanggang gano'ng mahaba kaya ito eksena na to or itong episode na to. So, ayun. Pero,
any more additional sa cast?
same daw.
Actually, same lang naman kasi we are guided by kahit bago si Diesel, sobrang galing din niyang mag-guide, magbigay ng instructions and siya yung piloto kasi ng series natin. And we work with good actors, sabi nga ni Direk Chris, binigyan ng buhay ng mga actors, yung mga characters na aabangan natin sa mga susunod na episode ng Got My Eyes On.
And for Tolia, syempre galing ka sa vertical, syempre yung sa TikTok, sa Reels. Ikaw ba, paano yung naging, first mo ba to, and paano yung naging experience mo sa kabuuan ng Got My Eyes On?
Okay, so answer lang, yes, it's my first time po talaga. And actually, hindi naman naging challenge sa akin na magkaroon ako ng ganitong klaseng acting project since it's a cameo role and I'm grateful na nakast po ako dito sa Got My Eyes On You. Bilang tao ako lagi ng TikTok, so hindi na naging mahirap sa akin at hindi na ganun kalaki yung adjustment sa akin since marami namang mga tao nakakita sa akin digitally. And when it comes naman sa naging part ng series na ito, well, actually masaya nga po ako na naging parati ako nito. Even though one day lang ako nag-shoot at nakasama nila. At yung isang araw na yon, grateful pa rin ako kasi minulto ako. Winelcome ako ng multo. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. But yeah, hindi naman po ganun kalaki yung adjustment, hindi naman po ako nahirapan kasi ever since pinapangarap ko naman talaga na magkaroon din at maging part ng product when it comes kapag sa mga BL content or BL materials. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations.
We're down to our last two questions, guys.
Hello, Aaron Francisco here from This Is Mirror. So first of all, congratulations. So my question is for Sir Chris. Okay, so why did it take a few years before Pure Gold followed up its first BL series?
Actually, meron na kaming 1 year na lull. It was really because nagkaroon ng Sini Panalo. Kasi we really wanted na it's a yearly thing, maging magandang content on social media. But last year, di ba, was the start of our Sini Panalo Film Advocacy. So, mas na-prioritize namin yun. And with Sini Panalo, mas marami kaming nakilalang mga filmmakers. Actually, yun nga, parang one of the things magsisegue lang ako, one of the things I'm happy with Sini Panalo is, and yung talagang gusto ko siyang i-emphasize is, we were able to discover a new breed of filmmakers. Diesel is one of them, Lloyd is one of them, even yung iba pang part ng team ng Got My Eyes on You they all were discovered in Sini Panalo, and they're so good na parang si Pure Gold wanted them to be given a chance na magkaroon ng ganitong platform. Di ba parang normally yung mga ganitong projects, binibigay mo to sa very seasoned na, kasi long form kahit na this is 36 episodes, binibigay mo to sa seasoned filmmaker. But tignan mo naman, di ba, parang fresh grad, summa cum laude from UST, best director from Sini Panalo, but now, kaya nang gumawa ng series. So, yun yung huminga kami ng konti ng 1 taon, pero bumalik kami ng mas maganda pa, at may mga bagong mukha na nabigyan ng opportunity. Thank you so much.
Hello po, so I'm Dale from Raptor. So, ang question ko po is for the actors. How can you guys relate to the characters you play? And what do you hope the queer Filipinos can take away from watching the series?
Siguro ako, si Sean, makikita niyo naman dun sa series, he is looking for purpose and place in this world, and mahanap niya kay Drew. pero before yun mangyari, syempre, pero ang pinaka-reason kasi bakit siya pumasok dun sa storya is because he is looking to prove himself. And ako, nakaka-relate ako doon kasi ako, I also want to prove myself as an actor. I want to show the world kung ano yung kaya kong dalhin dito sa industriya. So in that way, nakaka-relate ako kay Sean. Ayun.
Kay Drew naman, si Drew kasi is very, breadwinner si Drew. Tapos si Drew may naalagaan na pamilya na kahit na adult na siya, working na siya, ang priority niya pa rin is yung family niya, yung nanay niya, yung mga kapatid niya. Which I think is very common sa kultura natin, sa mga Pilipino ngayon. Dahil we're so family-oriented na umaabot sa point na lagi tayong sasabihan na magulang mo pa rin yan or pamilya mo pa rin yan. And then, patong-patong ng mga ano pang naririnig natin. And then we have these obligations and we have these norms na ang dami natin kailangan isatupad bago tuluyan tayo makakalas sa initial family natin, di ba? So, I think isa yung sa pinakamalaking struggles na gusto kong ipakita rin ng show na to, na coming from a POV ni Drew na gano'n na yung situation niya sa buhay, tapos biglang may in love ba siya or hindi? Will it get in the way? Ano uunahin niya? Career or love life or work or family? Kasi hindi naman contractor si Drew dito eh. So, wala siya. Wala siya. Kinikwenta niya bawat sweldo niya. Meron siya mga binubuhay na tao, di ba? So I think yun yung ang pinaka pwedeng matutunan na lesson dito is you know that you will reach a point no matter your priorities na you will navigate and try to find a sweet spot kung kailan ka magsisimula magsasabi na para sa akin naman at kailan ka magsasabi na okay, ito para sa family ko pa rin or hanggang dito na lang or ako naman muna kung kailan na at some point in our lives, di ba, we reach a point na kailangan natin masabi. Ayun. Okay. And I thank you.
Ito, parang nakikita ko kasi na napaka-inclusive niya. Bigyan tayo ng oportunidad na magpakita ng relasyon. Ito na hindi traditional. So, napapakita sa mga tao. Mas duman another opportunity na ipakita ang pagmamahalan dahil wala namang kasarian ng pagmamahal. Pwede sa babae, lalaki, kahit hindi pang kasarian at pipili. Eh, nakaka-relate ako dito kasi sabi nga ni Mikoy, napaka-family-oriented. Sa episode 1 pa lang makikita na ang reason ba't ko iiwan yung pagpa niya dahil sa pamilya ko at buong stay ko din, pinagdarato ko sila bilang pamilya.
Ayan po. Ako naman po bilang Moira, actually tinanong ko kay Diesel kung paano ko i-arte si Moira. Kasi parang hindi ako mate kasi me myself, I'm a supportive friend also and babaeng bakla. Isa akong babaeng bakla. Mas madaldal lang talaga si Moira kaysa sa akin. But in the same way, I can relate kasi nga Moira is also a dog lover and also has a lot of gay LGBTQ friends and I am too. Marami siyang sinasabi about dogs, yung pag-support niya kasi minsan sa buhay natin, kailangan natin ng taong magpupush sa atin na konting push lang magagawa mo eventually pag nakamit mo yung isang goal na yun magiging proud ka din sa sarili mo. So, ang naging challenge lang sa role ni Moira is napaka-energetic niya.
Talaga bang
Hindi, charot lang. Pero hindi. While filming kasi, meron akong I have 17 dogs. So, while filming, meron akong isang kakamatay lang na aso. So, siguro yung pumatay, yung emotional. And recently lang, in a span of 1 month and 3 days, I just lost 2 dogs. So, wala, para sa ano rin to? Para sa mga taong nagmamahal sa mga aso and nag-aalaga sa mga aso. Yun na po. Salamat!
Hello. So, first and foremost po, congratulations on your new series named Catnip. So, this question po is for Nick. How does it feel naman po working in a PLC? And what challenges did you face given that you are portraying an LGBTQIA+ character?
Sorry, pwede pa ulit. Medyo nag-chop yung mic. Oo, yung signal.
So yung question po is, how does it feel naman po working in a PLCs? And what are the challenges did you face given that you're portraying an LGBTQIA+ character?
Ako, hindi naman ako masyado nag-adjust because tinignan ko lang siya as a concept of love. Kasi, yes, real life, and yun din naman yung gusto ko as an actor The farther away yung karakter or yung role from me as Esteban, mas gusto ko because gusto kong lumulusong sa mundo ng Ayun, mas gusto kong lumulusong sa mundo na hindi pamilyar sa akin. Kasi mas natututo ako, kasi ako, I advocate ako ng understanding. Always from a place of understanding ang pinagagalingan ko. And yung pagganap naman ng isang tao from the LGBT community, for me, hindi siya naging mahirap kasi tinignan ko lang siya as a concept of love. Yun nga, babalik ako doon. And nakikita ko lang siya, si Drew, na person na mahal ko. So for me, naging ganun lang siya kasimple, kaya rin hindi ako nahirapan gampanan kasi yung concept naman ng love ay malinaw sa akin. And regardless kung, yun nga, anong kasarian, hindi nagmamatter yun sa akin. So, yun.
Yeah, yun. Ever since na naman I've been doing roles like this, it all feels the same. It's all like, it's love. Yun nga, sinabi na rin ni Teban, love is love. Like, it doesn't, being in a BL doesn't make it feel like you're being in a BL. It's different stories, different backgrounds, pero yung pagiging BL niya, I think, is just, from an actor's point of view, is just as same as na parang, oh, yung character mo ngayon, ang mahilig siya sa adobo, hindi mechado. So it's just, parehas lang. Yun, did that answer your question? Yeah.
Alright, mukhang nasagot naman yung question, ma'am. Alright? Okay, so, wow, that was an incredibly engaging open forum. Palakpakan naman po natin ang ating cast members sa pagsagot nila deep from their hearts. Okay, so exciting yung kwento ni Drew and Sean. And thank you sa friends natin from all media for the insightful questions.